Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Caprill. As you can see, this is actually tea today. By the way, if you're like me and you tend to fill up your cup of coffee and then you lay it down and you're not sure what you did with it, and that time you get it, it's cold and you got to either start all over or put it in the microwave. There's a great cup you can buy. It's called Ember, Ember. Uh, my son Wes bought this for my wife Beth, and I stole it. She wasn't using it as much. But actually, like everything in life, it has an app, but you don't need to use the app. But what you do is you set it for the temperature that you want to maintain your drink at. And so as a result, I can put this, lay it aside, come back in an hour, and it's still going to be just as warm. So just, we're getting towards the holiday season now. If you're thinking, what do I get the person who has everything? If they're a tea or coffee drinker, Ember is worth checking out. Okay, I just got back from my annual excursion. I really shouldn't call it annual because I've only gone twice, but I love it so much that it's going to be an annual to British Columbia. Me and two friends, we go way up north, very close to the Alaskan border, a city called Terrace, Terrace. It's about a 90-minute flight north of Vancouver. It takes 15 hours to drive it, believe it or not, even though it's only an hour and a half to fly because it's mountainous. But in any event, we flew. And that's the week I go salmon fishing, which for years I've been a trout fisherman, fly fishing. And last year switched over to salmon, which is very different. You use a different rod and totally different technique. So I had to kind of relearn the process. But it's a fabulous place. I mean, even if you went up there and didn't catch fish, which you will catch fish because there's a lot of fish up there to be caught, um, it's just the whole scenery. It's just so quiet, and we're not off the grid. I mean, you get back to the lodge and they have internet and everything that you would want. Terrace itself is I wouldn't. It's not a big city by any means, but I mean it's got its own airport and stuff like that. So we're not completely off the grid, but it is one of those trips you come back and you just feel great. You're relaxed, and it was good. Now that I'm at that age where I work with a lot of you, if you're not retired, to retire, usually around my age. Don't worry, I'm not retiring. I can't fish every day, so you're stuck with me as long as God allows me to be around. And of course, we have the clone now on board, Wes, to fill that gap. Um, but I do know the time is precious. Okay. I mean, I realize that. I know I'm not a young man anymore. For years, I always thought of myself as the young guy in the room, and I was, and I'm not anymore. And so this is why it's just so important that we, all of us, work to better our lives as it relates to things like our health, as well as to better our lives as it relates to utilizing our time to the best that we can. Because we only have limited time, we only have limited energy. And so I know with many of you, I'm speaking to the choir, but there's some of you who maybe need to hear this message. Retirement requires a proper mindset, in my opinion. You worked your whole life, you dealt with a lot of stress in your life to get to this point. And when you're there, I'm amazed how many people don't really enjoy it. And that's unfortunate because you should enjoy it. You can't control most of anything in the world. You can't even really control your health. I mean, you can certainly take steps to improve it, and you should. All you can really control in life is how you think about things. You can let things overwhelm you, or you can choose to live in the moment and let the future just unveil itself. If you think about it, the future actually never comes, right? A lot of us tend to live too much in the past, which is a shame because that's over. That's over. I read something interesting, a little depressing, but so true. And it was, in 100 years from your date of your death, probably less, no one will know who you were. you'll have completely a lost memory. You'll be a file maybe on a computer, but most of us aren't going to be written about in history books or anything like that. Even our ancestors won't know who we are. Now, don't get depressed in that. Just understand that we have to make what we have here and do the best for it. So I don't mean to be overly philosophical, but for many years, when I was younger than most of our clients, I kind of felt I was advising them on stuff lifestyle wise that I had not yet experienced. So, I'm trying to be smart about it and give them some suggestions and wisdom, if you will. But there's nothing like actually experiencing it. So, whatever that is for you, and it doesn't have to be travel. I think so often we think about these things as travel. No, I don't even like travel, to tell you the truth. I like getting to where I am, but I'm really a homebody. And, to get back and see the dogs and be around the dogs. And yes, Beth, that to me was, that was great. So, in any event, so the only message I just want to leave for today is no matter where you are right now, work to get better, whatever that might be. Whether it might be in mindset, where it might be in your physical capability, where it might be just in getting things done. Um, do that because, the time here is so precious and we want to make the most of it. All right. I promise you the next Coffee with Capril, I'll get into the details of life. All right. Or the details of planning. All right. Take care. Bye bye.